Greetings from the LNM Institute of Information Technology, Jaipur, which is situated in Rajasthan in India. At the very outset, I would like to thank the organizing committee for their efforts in conducting the conference in such a way. Now straight away into the paper. So in this paper, what we try to do, we try to link the previous single hypothesis with the intra-industry trade. Now, as an empirical exercise, uh, we what we do, we consider India and its top two trading partners, USA and China. Now, the reasons why we considered India, it's because we all know that India adopted the liberalization program in 1990s, and after that, over 30 years, it has substantially changed its pattern of trade, and also it has improved the share of its merchandise as well as manufacturing exports, uh, which it was in 1990 to 2018. Now, in the changing pattern, what we see that the primary and low technology goods have somewhat come down, and the exports of high technology and natural resources based goods have increased. Now, still, after having 30 years of this economic liberalization program, the government of India in 2018 has said that to improve economic growth, okay, or to achieve a $5 trillion economy, India's export share has to be double. That is from around 1.6%, which was in 2018, to at least 3.4% in the next few years. And to achieve that, the government of India has also envisioned the scheme of Assemble in India for the World, which is nothing more or less but participation of the global value chains. So the government of India is harping on to increase India's participation in global value chains, which they expect to create around 40 million additional jobs by 2025 and 80 million additional jobs by 2030. Now, what we do in this paper, okay, so we try to understand the characteristics of the exported goods by India to its top two trading partners, USA and China. Okay, and why do we think it is important? We think it is important because if we do not know the export characteristics of the commodity groups of what is being exported by India, we somehow feel that this we want to check whether the orientation of the trade policy uh, is fair, is sustainable, or not. Now, how do we understand these characteristics? We understand the characteristics in three ways. First, we look at the direction of the terms of trade of the exported goods by India to USA and China. Second, what impact they do have on the export demand, that is whether those goods have an increasing export share or a declining export share. And lastly, whether those goods are elastic in nature or inelastic nature. In other words, we try to compute the export elasticity of the goods. Now, how does previous single hypothesis come along with intra-industry trade? Now, usually we have seen that India is a less developed, is a developing economy, and compared to what in the development uh, spectrum, India falls behind China and of course USA. Now, it is expected that for a developing economy, it is going to export goods which are relatively labor intensive. That's what the that's what the Falway and 1981 has argued, that a developing economy is expected to export goods which are more labor intensive and import capital intensive goods from the uh, im- from the developed economy. Now, if this is the characteristics, then what does a developing economy do to increase, to boost their export earnings? It must achieve a sustainable high growth rate by exporting those goods which has a high price elasticity or demand, as well as that increase the export share over time. Now, as we have seen that inter-industry trade has become largely a dominant in both the bilateral trade of India China as well as India USA. And we have also, and this two graphs reveals that the vertical IIT has been dominant. You can see for India USA case, it is still the low vertical IIT which is dominant, but with the case of China, from from the second decade of the economic reform, that is the 2000s, the decade of 2000, it has slowly started to the high vertical inter-industry has started to become dominant. Now, which are the major industries that cater to high magnitude of bilateral inter-industry trade between these two country pairs? Those are five industries: chemical, plastics, rubber, textiles, base metals, machine learning, and mechanical appliances. Now, all this exercise has been done at the HS 6-digit level. Uh, so this table also shows that in terms of commodity groups, like how many times does this industry cater to the top five ranks that are engaged in intra-industry trade? Now, to understand the export characteristics of the exported goods, we consider three-step analysis. The first step is we compute the direction of terms of trade. Second, based on the significant commodity groups that has a significant trend of terms of trade, we take these commodity groups and we compute the direction of the export share. Okay. Then after that, what we do, we compute the export elasticity. Now, overall, what we observe in step one, that in the India China pair, most of them have a positive trend value. That means the terms of trade has been increasing. While in the USA, apart from the textile, all other industry groups have witnessed a positive terms of trade. Uh, in step two, for the export share, we find that apart from in the China inter-industry trade case, apart from chemical industry, all other industry groups witnessed an increasing um, all other industries had a declining trend of export share, while for India USA inter-industry trade, there was a decreasing trend of export share. So just in to summarize, in the India China case, we have seen that for most of the commodity groups in these five industry groups, they have a positive terms of trade, while for the India USA, apart from the textile, all other commodity had the majority of positive terms of trade movement. In the case of export share, what we find that apart from chemical, all majority of the commodity groups in all other industry groups witness a declining trend of export share, while in the India USA case, there was a decreasing trend of export share which was found. Now, in the step three, what we observe that most of the commodity groups has an export price elasticity to be greater than one. Now, what does this reveal? This reveals that the export earnings from these commodity groups are not likely to be robust, because since they are elastic, and they have an increasing trend of terms of trade. So we argue that the export earnings from these characteristics are not likely to have a robust export earnings from India's inter-industry trade. Thank you. That's all for the paper.